Om Shanti. Stay in the volcanic stage and experience powerful remembrance, the fire of purity. When the yoga of you children becomes volcanic and powerful, the fire of purity will be able to burn the rubbish of the world in a second. This power of purity is a great power. At the end, when you become completely pure, the fire of your elevated, loving thoughts will burn all the rubbish. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avikti Parivar. Today is day 2. So, just now you saw a video where it was shown Bhuri Dadi, of course, Mohini Didi's month, but 2nd July is Bhuri Dadi's day. She became Avyakt on 2nd July 2010, and some of us might have seen her. And yes, just now we heard from Dadi Janki ji, but Mohini Didi also knows her so well. So we will hear from her as well. So today is day 2nd. Stay in the volcanic stage and experience powerful remembrance. Today's topic, the fire of purity. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi ji.
Om Shanti. We had been sharing some of the stories of our ancestors, souls of Yagya. Some, yes, you all take full interest to know about them, and some don't. Some think, well, what I have to do to listen to Buri Dadi or Mohini Didi's story. But unless we know that the roots of the Yagya, the foundation of Yagya, the characteristics with dadis have, and that sustain the yagya. And until 90 years now, is their sacrifice, their renunciation. As they said, Didi was so much into one of the word which I always remember. Didi used to say, "Kaide mein fayda hai." When you follow the rules, there are always benefit. Because there are certain situations which come to me now after, because once you break the rule, you do on what your mind tells you. You keep doing it. It's a big trap there. And then you realize that, oh my goodness, trap is there. So I said, well, you have spread the trap, you have to come out of that too. But why should I break the rule? Whether it is in a Lokik way or whether it is in godly. Baba also has certain systems, certain ways. But listening to the mind and then forget about rules, regulation. I always connect very much until now with our ancestor souls because everyone had such beautiful qualities, specialities, good karma yogi. So at that time, mostly we had Dadi Prakashmani, then we had Bholi Dadi, who used to be in charge of kitchen, and this one was Bhuri Dadi. And just imagine, I mean, they are older sisters, and as sisters, what they did. So in the beginning, like they moved to Abu in 1951, and then, very few people used to go. And, it's only last week I got a call from India saying that our government has given big land near the station so that when the pilgrims from Madhuban come, they can take rest, or until their transport come, they can take shower. Very big one. They have, even Baba's Yagya created a big, beautiful waiting room at station for Baba's children. And the railway minister in India has now many railways. When people go to Chandigarh, I ask them, how are you going? Direct train to Chandigarh. So many places, direct trains, because railway minister, even in parliament, they said it, that, they should be given. We wanted an airstrip, no small plane can land, because there are many who feel that they have less time if they can go by that. So lot facilities are being given. So Bhuri Dadi will come to buy vegetables and everything. Because in Mount Abu they have limited, but in Abu Road they have more everything. So she will come with big baskets, this size, right? And buy the vegetables. Every day she comes. And same time she will come to receive us at the train station. That means when we have to land, come out of train station, we look for Bhuri Dadi. Where is she? And she is standing there, and she has one or two porter so that our luggage can be taken. Those days were really golden days when I remember how we were received by. And then the vegetables she had bought, very big baskets, big ones. So there used to be what they call a tempo. I don't know, we don't know much about it here. So there are seats around, this side, this side. In the middle is open. And she will put all her baskets, and we always sit on the side, on those seats. Little seats. But we were okay because, there is so much joy and there is so much intoxication. You don't worry whether you are in a car, taxi, or a tempo. Because there was no taxi, there was no car when I went first time. But then Bhuri Dadi very lovingly, uh, you know, gave us banana, take orange. She will bring lemon because some people get sickness, travel sickness. So she brings lemon for them. So much love, each one was received. So I think that, see, whatever we are is always because of everyone in our life. So we always have to be respectful and always think of them with that love. That if she wouldn't have been there or she wouldn't have done that, where we would have been? We never would have been able to even reach Mount Abu, right? So this gratitude to all the ancestor souls, it's not enough time, but Bhuri Dadi, and then of course for me, Mohini Dadi was in charge of Delhi, and I took knowledge in Delhi. So how she was very firm, very determined, but also very, very loving. Very good balance of love and law. She was loving, very detached, but also she was very, very firm. So they were beautiful examples and the models of beginning of yajna. So that's why we celebrate their days, we celebrate their life, and of course I always remember what they have done for us. Baba gives knowledge, but the love from relationship and seva bhav, not I do what my duty is, they did it properly, everything. So it was beautiful to think of Bodhi Dadi and our love, respect to her. And remember the words of Didi Mohini, always follow the rules, regulation. Because one of the things which could happen, which is not good, to only listen to your own mind. I do what my mind says. But I have to check everything what my mind says with Baba's Shrimad. What is Baba's Shrimad? Then I listen to my mind. Check my thoughts with Shrimad. Because that could become very big obstacle, which I am seeing in Brahmin life after many, many years. They had been following the dictates of their mind. And when the soul becomes really powerful, powerless. So from beginning our habit, we check with Shrimad and then we do what your mind says. But check first is very important. So anyway, there is a lot to say, but our time is limited. It says the theme which you already heard, some in Hindi, fire of purity. I think we should, I won't say seriously, but deeply, honestly, churn on it. A Vyakti signal is 24 hours homework. And one of that is that deepening the understanding of what is being signal about. And take that signal means direction. Do it, follow it. It's not just for listening. It's for churning, understanding, and applying. Signal is what? On the road you see traffic signals, right? Amongst each other, there are signals. When I have to start speaking, I get signal. Then I do it. So, signal. And that is also from Avyakt Bapdada. Every signal which I read is from Avyakt Murli. It's not someone has written it. They all are from Avyakt Murli. And some actually locate the Murli and read it in what context is Baba saying it. They read full. So Baba is saying that when the yoga of you children become volcanic, and Baba says powerful, the fire of purity will be able to burn. Baba says all the rubbish of the world in a second, right? So that means the thought has to be powerful. The power of purity is a great power. And especially our purity. They say this hermit was sitting under the tree and there was a bird and bird threw some dirt on him. He looked at the bird and bird burned down and fell. His thought had so much power that there was real fire which burned the bird because that was anger or could be purity. So there is power in purity. It's very interesting, one word which comes in Gita, that if you have any kind of ill feelings or something like negative, it burns you inside. It keeps burning you. So we have to use fire of purity and burn all those traces of sanskar or dust of those sanskars, right? So the power of purity is a great power. At the end, Baba says, when you become completely pure, then the fire of your elevated, Baba says, elevated and loving thoughts will burn all the rubbish. Do we believe that? And if we believe it, then we have to keep attention on complete purity. It will work as fire. First, it burns your rubbish, that is, traces of sanskars. So many habits, so many attitudes, so many, and we hold on and try to think this is right. And some of us support it. It's important we burn it through power of purity. Otherwise, live the life of purity. You live alone, but then there is no fire. There is no power. So think about it little and pay attention so that worthwhile use of power of purity is there as fire. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Didi, Om Shanti, Avyakti Parivar. So, Didi, you've been talking about the fire of purity, and in preparation for this chit chat, I read some of the excerpts from Baba's Murli on volcano. And what is he really talking about when he talks about, he uses this term volcano? Now, in the world, a volcano is a mountain. And in the mountain, there's a lot of activity happening. There's a lot of fire, heat in the mountain. And it is said that they have spiritual significance, like Mount Fuji in Japan is supposed to be the shrine of the Shinto culture. And it is also a place that they say is between the earth and heaven, between the earth and the divine. So they also have a lot of spiritual significance. But when I wonder why Baba would use that word volcano when he talks about the practice and the attainments. So when I was reading the Murlis, excerpts from a few Murlis, he talked about the volcanic form. He talks about the volcanic stage and he talks about the volcanic attitude. And of course, now he's talking about the volcanic purity, which you talked about as the fire of purity is the fire of light. So my question to you is, I already have here what Baba says, but I'm going to ask you. What is the volcanic form? If I'm to be in my volcanic form, what am I being in? And I'll prompt. He said that one of the volcanic forms is to be the incorporeal form, that point of light. And he said that being in the volcanic form means your mind, your heart, and your intellect needs to be connected to only one and to be in the remembrance of only one. And there's this deep concern that I have to return home now and I have to take everyone else back home. So that's how he described the form. How would you describe, hearing Baba saying that, how would you tell us to experience this form? Because we're doing the 5 forms this whole week. Baba says, do it for one every hour, do it. How can we connect at least one of the forms to being in the volcanic form?
I think that in Hindi word volcano is jwala, and jwala is the flame. I mean, of course, when we hear the word volcano, we start thinking about volcano in this mountain. I know in Central America, I had been to Guatemala, many places, and there are many volcanoes, and when they erupt, then there is a lot of smoke or there's some alarm is there. And one of that I went very near to see what exactly it is. So it's a kind of fire, or you can see coals and it's all fire there. But when I hear the word jwala, jwalamukhi, and then I see it as flame, then it could be, as Baba is saying, your purity, your connection with one, your, any good quality. But it's just like, we say there is yagya, right? And you have to sacrifice to keep that burning, the flame of yagya. You put sesame seeds, you put oil and whatever other things have to be sacrificed. So I always see jwala more as ignited, but in the sense of, let's say there is purity. Now purity increases the flame of the soul, because it's purity. Love for Baba increases the flame, so whether we call it volcanic yoga, volcanic image, volcanic other stage, or different things you mentioned. But how can we keep adding what we can do to keep that flame, in the sense of not only remain ignited, but it could burn, as Baba said. It can burn the rubbish within the self. And he's saying even of the world. And I mentioned today, just now, that we had lot about Murli, somebody read from Awake Murli about destruction and our stage connection with destruction. I like the concept which has come in this Murli, that is power of purity which will burn all the rubbish. But then our desire is that everyone in the world should be happy, should be peaceful, should have abundance, right? They should inherit from God. So that is our pure thoughts. And if that purity can bring whatever we call as destruction or change of the world. So I see a very beautiful concept of how it is very important for us now that it shouldn't be just only little flame or just a point of light, but it should be fully ignited flame. And as I said, that could be purity, that could be yoga, that could be love, flame of love, any flame.
Well, he was saying that the volcanic, the Jwalamukhi, that flame is remembrance. And why it is we are not able to be in the purity, it's because we are not in that flame of remembrance. And he even said that we are not in the essence of Baba's remembrance. He says to us, "Come to me at Amrit Vela. I will give you that experience. Come to me at different times. I'll give you." But we get more into the expansion and we're not able to hold the essence. And it is only when we hold the essence are we able to burn the sanskaras. Because to go into the expansion of the sanskaras, we're not able to burn them. And he used the reference, it's like burning Ravan. You kill Ravan, but you don't burn him. And we do the same with the sanskaras. We kill the sanskaras, but we don't burn them. And so he was saying the form, the volcanic form, is to be in that powerful remembrance of Baba that then emerges the purity in the soul. Is that what you're also saying?
One of the things which I notice is wasteful thoughts. Wasteful thoughts, the habit of wasteful thoughts, the big obstacle in igniting or remaining flame ignited. So we are not able to use the fire or the power of purity because of wasteful thoughts. There's wasteful, any kind of waste, whether, of course, when thoughts are wasted, then your breath is wasted, your time is wasted. Dari Janki always says, all three energies are wasted together. Because thought, the moment, time, right? So we have to, I think, pay attention a little more on like what I say with, I keep attention. So now if it's 2-3 thoughts, I instantly make it elevated, make it change. But like before was longer. And now I see many are caught up into very, very small things and they don't recognize that there is so much power in them. And from that power, they can use any power, but they don't. They just get caught up into few things from their own sanskars or sanskars of others. And Baba had been saying so much about sanskars, right? And if you pay attention that let me use my eternal qualities, let me think about my golden aged qualities, why keep allowing that old sanskars to keep emerging? And we support those sanskars. We don't realize this person, what is doing or saying is just sanskars. We make it an issue. We make it a big kind of, okay, situation. But it's not that, it's sanskars, And more be able to locate whether in my own self or I help others to. And that change which could happen in the sanskar. So I think then their purity, the powers of purity, fire will work. They will be able to burn their rubbish. But if we don't locate that, then there won't be use of the powers which we have. We're not thinking of let me use power. I'm thinking make that soul okay by saying it's all right. This one is right, that one is right. No. Everyone has to be right, right? Clap is always from two hands. I cannot say you are not right, but no, we both are either right or wrong, right? So there are a lot of things we have to improve within our own family, And as much we do, that power and fire of purity will work, no? But that Jwalamukhi is not working because of all these little things, no, wasteful.
Well, let me get to the stage now. He said the volcanic stage is to be the Master Almighty Authority. So you're serving now from this stage. And he says, to be a Master Almighty Authority, you need to be in the seed stage, but you also need to be in the lighthouse and might house stage. And so you're serving with a presence of light. But you must be the title, the stage of I am a Master Almighty Authority. Baba has entrusted me with his powers. And he was also saying the only way you can sustain those powers is to really go into the depth of Gyan, understand it the way Baba is saying it, and then take it to the seed, the point, and then be the lighthouse and the might house. Of course, this is the ultimate way of serving with the power of purity. As you said, the fire of purity is light. So how would you tell us to serve with this presence of light so that the purity radiates at two levels, the seed as well as the lighthouse and might house?
There are many powers, but let's say even 8 powers, sometimes you have to use them, we don't use them. Like power to face, power to judge, power to discern, they should be increasing every day. But how do we help each other to make them realize, use your powers, right? Your Master Almighty use powers. So souls doesn't become powerful. They only keep, I feel, struggling around sanskars, little situations. But can I use power, overcome that situation so I'm victorious, and then power become more powerful, effective, no? So I think amongst family, I should do it and encourage others also to be Master Almighty and use powers. And when you use power, no, I had told you that Dadi Prakashmani, once she was being criticized for so many things, and some people later on asked, Dadi, didn't you feel it? She said, no, I was checking my powers. Is tolerance working? So that's called effort maker, but not make a situation solve it. But what about becoming Master Almighty? It's important, isn't it? So I think we all have to focus on what Baba says, what we have to be. Then we will be able to do what Baba is saying about fire of purity and power of purity. But the focus has to be that I have to be Master Almighty. What is this little situation? Can't I be victorious? Can't I use power to tolerate? We don't use powers, nor we tell people, use the powers. You are Master Almighty. So it's kind of okay. You bandage the wound, but it's not healed, right, completely. So somewhere I think our focus, a Vyakti signal should help us. Like today, Jayantiben said very nice thing in our conversation that collectively doing effort of same quality has a big impact on the world, like World Meditation Hour. So she was talking about a Vyakti signal that all over the world our effort is based on that. So when quality of effort will be there, it was question of revealing Baba that how collectively if we do something, there will definitely be Baba's revelation in some way. So what I am saying is that, there are powers, and until we use them, I am not going to become powerful, right? They always say about muscle, you use it or you lose it, you know. So same is powers. We have to, otherwise how are we going to grow? We will still remain like children, for they are disturbed about every little thing. But they should increase their skills, they should increase their powers, they should use their power. So that's very, very important. That's what I notice, that we all need to use more powers.
I will end on the note of Buri Dadi. We all met her because we were, in those days, traveled to Madhuban with trains. So she would always meet us at the train station, but she would take us to Sangam, and we would go to Sangam, and she would settle us a little bit, and then we would come up the mountain. But I was looking at her meeting Baba, and I was looking at the rite with which she was meeting him, and there was nobody to stop her. Nobody. She has such an authority that when she extended her hand, Baba took it. Now, these ancestor souls, in making their efforts for the volcanic yoga during those 14 years and after, they did it so naturally. They did it so easily. They did it in a way that it was a flow of their lives. It didn't seem as though they were making the effort, but yet the intensity of the remembrance and of the love and of the purity was embodied in their lives, in the way they live their lives. So give us one tip of how to live tomorrow with this power of purity, using Buri Dadi as an example.
You know, like love for Baba, faith in Rama, faith in Baba, it's just like it was so natural in them. So we also have all that. But what they have to do is create more awareness of what I have. You know, I have faith in Baba, I have faith in Rama, love and the trust, you know. So bring those qualities and immerse your form. That that is why the theme which I have chosen for this weekend is everything as easy, natural. You know, we all need to be very natural in that. So I think that what we will do, that we pay attention, keeping in mind that I have to have this fire of purity, and for that just great awareness of your all qualities, and that could help a lot.
Thank you so much. And it's a very deep subject, but I'm sure by the end of the month, we'll all be so much better at being these images of purity and serving the world. Thank you.
I'm happy that you read Awake Murlis and dig all these points and share with us. And I'm sure all of us should do that, you know, study a little more deeper and create broader understanding of everything. It's very, very useful. So I appreciate your comments, right?
Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.